So this is one of my favorite problems, and it oftentimes ends up being similar to those that you may expect to see on an exam. So let's pay attention to it closely. So what this is saying is you could buy a property right now, present value of $3 million. Again, let's key that in as a negative. And you can sell it, that's 30 million, too many, for $4 million in 5 years. So let's call that N per. We know that that's going to be years, so let's actually go ahead and label that. If the interest rate is 8%, what is the present value of the sales price? That's kind of a strangely worded question, worded a little more oddly than needs to be. All it's asking is, what is the present value of this $4 million that comes in 5 years at a rate of 8%? So let's put this present value of the sales price. So we'll drop in our equals PV formula, rate of 8%, 5 years away, no payment, future value is 4 million. And what we see our answer there for that first part A is $2.722 million. So now when we go to answer point B, is the property investment attractive to you? This is where the beauty of present value comes in, because in essence what this says is that $2.722 million at a rate of 8% would grow over 5 years to be a future value of $4 million. Therefore, why would you pay $3 million today for something that was only worth $2.722 million? So the answer to part B is no. It is not an attractive investment. But part C changes that and says, all right, what if we actually added on a component to there, which would be a $200,000 per year rent? Well, now we're actually talking about a payment. So let's take a look at what happens when we add that variable in there. So I'm going to insert a row right here, put in a payment, $200,000. Notice I'm going to leave that as a positive because that's an inflow, as would be the future value sales price. We do need to change our formula a little bit here because we are now including that payment in there. We didn't have it before. So let's go ahead and change our formula to have our payment be included. And I goofed up on the formula. Let's just drop that in there again. Equals PV, rate of 8%, number of periods 5. There's my payment, 200,000. There's my future value. And now the present value of the sales price of $4 million in 5 years, added then with the $200,000 a year rental payment you get, says that you should be willing to pay up to $3.5 million for this property right now. This is why I love present value and future value problems, because it helps you answer something like, would you pay $1 for something that grew into $4 million in 5 years at 8%? And the answer is yeah. Would you pay $2? Yeah. You would pay up to $2.722 million. In this case, you certainly would not pay the $3 million, unless, of course, you could go ahead and figure out a way to rent it. That way, the property would be worth actually $3.5 million right now.